welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. And welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. And welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Film My Run on Zwift. My name is Stephen Cousins and we are broadcasting live around the world on Facebook, on twitch.tv, on Mixer and on YouTube. While we're getting everything set up, it would be absolutely awesome if you could go and subscribe to the Film My Run YouTube channel and also the Zwift Runs and Rides YouTube channel. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/FilmMyRun, on Twitter at FilmMyRun, and you can also go to the website, which is www.filmmyrun.com. It's very nearly time, so sit back, relax, and watch me do all the hard work. Oh, haven't done my heart rate. Typical. Morning, everybody. Well, good morning from the UK. I don't know what time it is where you are. This is going to be fairly sedate session, I hope. 500 metres climb, 12% elevation. Oh, I haven't put chat on either. Ridiculous. Just going to start it out by walking out. I'm at 12% elevation now on the treadmill. Just going to walk out a few 100 metres. I need to stretch my ankle because my right ankle has been giving me some problems. So I just need to make sure that's not going to be sore during the run, as it was a couple of days ago. Let me just put chat on so I can see if there's anybody asking any questions or saying hello. Long, bear with me. Thanks for the ride on, Peter Denny.
Right on.
And John Hancock as well.
Right on.
Okay. Chat. No one there yet. Oh, Ryan Perry. One question. 500 kilometre ride. What? That was ages ago, Ryan. Because I could. Because I wanted to. Chris Nolan, thanks for the ride on.
Right on.
It was just something to do, you know. Oh, that's not either. Come on. Where are we? Sorry, I'll get sorted in a minute. Right, okay. So we're broadcasting live on YouTube, we're broadcasting live on Facebook. Please understand, this is not your standard evening, exciting group run. This is just me doing my training for a very hilly, long ultra race that I've got in March. Matt Dawson, thank you for your ride on.
Right on.
Yeah. Oh, hang on a minute. I've still not got this right. That shouldn't come up. Social, blue, type. There we go. Right. Well, you know, it's one of my achievements on Zwift. So, you know, I'll just put it out there. Yeah, I agree. It was ages ago, but it is on my intro that I play every time I go live. So fair enough. But yeah, it's just I am proud of it because you know it's not an insignificant number of miles, kilometres to ride. I did have a very sore arse afterwards, so I was pleased with it. You know? And it was in the early days when there were hardly any cyclists on Zwift. I think Shane Miller had done like 420 kilometres a couple of weeks before, and I thought, right, I'm gonna have a go at that. So and what actually happened was I started at 7 o'clock in the morning and I got 50 kilometres in and Zwift crashed, so I had to start again from scratch. So actually the full ride is a 50 kilometre ride and then a 450 kilometre ride, two separate rides. No, it wasn't. It was very sore. Right, I'm stretching out my ankle. My right ankle has given me some problems. Not on the flat. It seems to be okay on the flat, but on climbing, when I get onto the balls of my toes, it's been a bit sore the first kilometre or so of a run. So I've been doing some more leg raises, some calf raises, and just trying to stretch it out a little bit more. D Cooper, thank you for your ride on.
Right on.
So I will get running in a second, promise. I just want to make sure it's not too bad. I'm going to start very slowly today, I think. So we're at just over 5 kilometres per hour, and we'll get to 500 metres. See, there it is, just a little bit of a twinge. It's just, I think it's sometimes just where I land on my foot hurts a bit, but then other points it's all right. I stay flat on my foot for a bit and then it eases up. Darren Van Dit, thank you for your ride.
Right on.
I'm not seeing any chat on Facebook. If you are there, if you want to say hello, please do. I am fairly sure Facebook's working though, so I'm not too worried about that. And of course, you're all at work anyway, aren't you? Either at work if you're in Europe, or in bed if you're in the USA. Oh, Facebook chat is not working. Interesting. I wonder why that is then. Bear with me 1 second. Let me have a look then. I'll just slow it down a bit. There it is. I hadn't actually turned it on. Okay, oh God. Right, so Jonathan Koss says good morning. Heart rate strikes again, yes. Peter Denny, workout Wednesday in 20 minutes. And he says, hope the ankle isn't too bad. Thanks, Peter. The weather looks too pants for me to come flying down there today. Yeah, it's pretty wet out there. Low cloud and rain. And Darren Van Dit, how you doing, Stephen? How's the Achilles? Yeah, I am a little bit concerned about it, I have to say. Because, you know, I've got a very heavy training schedule for the next 7 weeks. And, say heavy for me, you know. And a lot of it is just climbing up hills, whether on the treadmill or outdoors. And if my Achilles is sore climbing, that is a problem. But it does, the only positive thing is, it does tend to ease off the more I run. So at the beginning of the run it's sore, but then as I get into things, it's kind of tends to be okay. See, now it feels, I've just started running now, doesn't feel too bad now. Walt Huddle, thank you for your ride on.
Ride on!
So just going to go very, very slowly. D. Morwood, why do I always forget your first name? Morwood, thank you for your ride on.
Ride on!
So we might have to do 2 or 3 kilometres before I actually get my avatar to run. But the important thing is I'm climbing. That's what this whole morning session is about. If I can do 2 or 3 of these sessions a week and then get out on the real hills at the weekend and maybe once in the week, well, at least climb once in the week, whether it's on the roads or the trails, and then get out on the real trails at the weekend. Yes, I was saying that, Chris, not long ago. Unless you're taking the mick out of me. Yeah. It should. I see what you mean. So we could manually set where we want the avatar to start running. Yes, that's an idea. But the thing I was thinking was that Zwift could just detect. Thank you, Jonathan, for the ride on.
Ride on!
Zwift could just detect that you've got incline on, and it also could detect your cadence. If your cadence is quick, the likelihood is that you're running. If your cadence is slow, likelihood is that you're not running. That's not necessarily true, but then if you add in the fact that we're on 12% elevation, then it's very likely that I'm running. So my avatar should be able to work that out and start running. But yeah, the other option is, of course, to manually set, okay, I want to start running at this pace, whatever it might be. The only thing about that is it might be a bit of a faff to keep changing it all the time. Right, so we're going through the tunnel in the tube station. Ankle seems all right, so there we are. There's my 12% incline on the treadmill. Currently 5.5 kilometres an hour. Nice and slow for the first kilometre. Bumped it up a little bit for the second kilometre. No film crew here today. If you want to have a look at James's website, so yesterday when I was doing my run in the morning, well, it was actually afternoon, wasn't it? But anyway, whatever. I had a chap filming me, independent production company, doing a documentary on ultra runners. And if you want to go and have a look at James Leighton. Yes, it is lonely, Ryan. JamesLeightonBurns.com. James Leighton, Leighton, Burns, Burns.com. You can see his website, and he's got a little picture of me, and he has been Paris and Damien Hall, who are all supposed to be featured in this documentary. Hopefully it'll come off, but you never know these things. Early production stages, it might not happen at all. We'll see. Yes, Darren, I've started doing calf raises. The thing is, I wasn't actually very worried about my calf, my Achilles, my heel, my ankle. I wasn't really that worried about it until a couple of days ago. I had a little bit of pain, but I didn't think it was anything to worry about. Until I did feel like it was a big issue the other day. And so I have now started doing calf raises. Yeah, he's done quite a bit. I mean, he's not just some guy. But we'll see what happens with it. Jonathan suggests not doing Group A tonight. Well, possibly. I'll see how I feel, because on the flat it seems to be okay. I ran last night outdoors, no problems whatsoever. It just seems to be climbing that's the issue. Yes, do you know what, Darren? I absolutely agree with you on the Vaporfly 4%. They are causing, they're definitely one of the issues, aren't they? Yeah, definitely gave me, I was out for 5 weeks last year. I'm almost certain it was the Vaporflies that caused that. Definitely we'll steer clear of those for a little bit. Do you know what? That's the first time I've heard somebody else say that they are causing Achilles and foot problems, because the first time I put them on, it felt to me like they were causing an issue. And I didn't see anybody else reporting it. So I just assumed it was me. But it's good to know that there are other people who found that with the Vaporflies. I mean, it's not good, but you know what I mean. Oh, that's good. That's 5.7 kilometers, Darren? Yeah, 21 minutes flat. Good. Nice time. Didn't beat Emily Williams, though. Hey, Jonathan. Yeah, I totally agree with you, Chris. It is a very annoying psychological problem, isn't it? Watching your avatar walk while you're running. Oh, camera angles. All right, let's start my little program that does camera angles. Okay, that should start working in a sec. There we go. Oh, that's interesting, Ryan. She may not be registered on Zwift Power, to be honest. Now, Darren, I have to pull you up on that. If you look carefully, right, the thing is you can't replay it, can you? But look, if you watch my video and Ryan Perring as well, you know, you were telling me that the run was actually 5.88. I don't think it is. You look carefully at my video from a couple of days ago, you will see I crossed the line and the distance marker says 5.7, 5.69, 5.7 as I cross the line. But then it almost immediately changes. As you cross the line, it immediately changes to 5.88. It's very strange, and it's all to do with this weird way that they measure the course in races. Have a look at my video. Right, I'm going to stay at 6 for the next 500 metres, then when we get to 2 kilometres I'll bump it up again. That's it, yes. Jonathan, she could be a bloke. She could just be a man running under a woman's name. I'm wearing New Balance today, Darren. New Balance, what are they, 1080s. So yeah, that distance business of the Tour de Zwift races, and any races, we're still trying to work out exactly what the situation is with that. De Bruyne, thank you very much for your ride on.
Ride on!
See, I think it measures your whole race from the start line and not from where the timer starts. Because, you know, also, when you cross the line, it'll give you one time in the, you know, on the screen, the normal timer that you look at in the middle of the screen, it gives you one time. But then in the race results, it'll give you another time, which is, you know, 30, 40, 50 seconds slower. So I think that is time from when you actually start running. But I still haven't quite worked it out. I thought I'd worked it out last year when we did that half marathon. Yeah, sorry, Ryan, I've only just read what you've just basically said, exactly what I've just said. Andrew, because lots of reasons. It depends how warm it is. You've got no air cooling inside unless you've got a really strong fan on you. Eric Min, thanks for the ride on.
Ride on!
So you've got no air cooling of wind, but also you don't have the wind resistance, so that should help. I mean, I find it harder on the treadmill. I also think if you've got a treadmill which isn't quite as good as the top end treadmills, then you're having to work harder on the belt, because the belt is, I go on about this all the time and everybody who knows me is bored silly of it, but on a treadmill with a bore motor, when you impact your foot on the treadmill, it will marginally slow the belt down. And that's reflected on your stride foot pod. So even though your treadmill might say that you're going 10 kilometers per hour, stride will tell you you're going 9.8 or 9.9 or 9.7, whatever. And so you have to speed the treadmill up for Zwift to recognise that you're going at 10 kilometers per hour. But it still feels like you're going faster than 10 kilometers an hour. Because you're still putting in the work. Does that make any sense? You're putting more work in on the treadmill to get the same speed. Consequently, your heart rate might be higher. Also, if the room isn't very well air conditioned, the heat in the room will make your heart rate go higher. So lots of things that causes it to, in general, most people find it more difficult on the treadmill. Darren, your comment is too long, so I can't see the end of it. Yeah, I think you would have to work really, I think you have to work really hard on those non-motorised treadmills, harder than outside. And see, some people do find it easier on a treadmill, but I don't know why. Okay, so that's 2 kilometres. So let's go up to 6.4. So we'll do the last kilometre with the avatar running. Oh, well done, Ryan. Now you've got to go and do that outside. See, my problem with treadmill running, well, it's not a problem, but I don't want any of my PBs to be on a treadmill. So I want to prove to myself that anything I do on a treadmill, I can do outside. So if you get a PB on the treadmill, you need to go outside and do it outside. And then it's really legit. Even though, yes, it is actually, for most people, harder on the treadmill. But outside is where it counts, isn't it? Yeah, Darren, see, that's all about miscalibration of your treadmill or your foot pod, isn't it? Or downright cheating, of course, but mostly it's about people not understanding the calibration of their foot pod, and that's why I put that post up a few weeks ago about if your times indoors are way faster or way slower than your times outdoors, then there's a problem somewhere. Your times should be relatively comparable indoors and outdoors. Now, my treadmill is fairly decent, and I am getting to the stage now where my indoor runs and my outdoor runs are comparable. So I can run my 5k times outdoors are about 19 minutes. My 5k times indoors are approaching 19 minutes now, so they're about the same. Yeah, no, oh, okay, yeah, I see, I understand. Can you imagine trying to run 4-minute kilometres in the first 3 miles of the arc? Okay, so ankle is fine. The ankle is not causing me any issues. And approaching 2.5 kilometres. Köln from Germany, thank you for your ride on.
Right on!
So we are in the Surrey Hills. and we're climbing Fox Hill. And when I did this the other day, it was just about right getting to 4 kilometres just at the crest of the hill. And I'm going slower today, so hopefully it'll be fine. Although, oh no, actually I've gone a different way, haven't I? My camera angles have changed the route, so I'm on a different route. No worries, Jonathan, it's fine. Right, 23 and a half minutes left, 2.5 kilometres done. Oh, that, mind you, that's 23 and a half minutes to do 5k. I'll only be doing 4k of climbing, and then I maybe just jog it out to 5k at the end. We stay on this speed for the next 500 metres, and then we'll make the avatar run for the last incline kilometre. Yeah, looking at the map, I'm going to start going downhill in a second. Never mind. There's the Shard, rather out of place, in the middle of the Surrey Hills, but there we are. Okay, enjoy your 10 miles, Darren. Comfortably in zone 3. Heart rate is 145 BPM, so, you know, generally comfortable. What we're doing here is working the legs, working the calf muscles, climbing on the balls of my feet, just to get used to the motion of climbing like this. Build some muscle in my calves, ready for the 7,500 meters of ascent over Gran Canaria in March. That's the goal, Jonathan. The goal is just to try and make sure that your indoor runs and outdoor runs are as near as you can get them in terms of pace and time. Cadence is probably always going to be different. So on the treadmill, I would say my cadence is slower than outdoors. So my stride length outdoors is shorter than my stride length on the treadmill, and that's to do with the belt. Trying to let the belt do the work, so you take longer strides on the treadmill. Not always the case, and I have noticed a lot of the time I am at what is considered to be perfect cadence, 180 steps per minute. Oh no, Darren's got a complaint. What is it, Darren? By the way, I did mention all these timing and distance issues. I did bring them up at the Zwift community leaders team meeting yesterday. So we know that HQ know about all these issues. I think I know what Darren's gonna complain about. I think I know. Laurie, thank you for your ride on.
Ride on!
It's so easy to get set up for Zwift running. All you need are a few things. Firstly, access to a treadmill. Either at home or at the gym, it doesn't matter what kind of treadmill you use, any treadmill will work with Zwift. Next, you need a foot pod, preferably a Bluetooth foot pod, and the most popular ones to use at the moment are the Zwift Pod or the Stride. Then simply download the Zwift app onto any of these devices. So a Mac, a PC, an iPhone, an iPad, an Android phone, Zwift even works on Apple TV. Pair your footpod in the app, possibly add a heart rate monitor if you like, and that's it. You're all set up for Zwift running. Right. Darren's annoyed with me because I've stolen an idea of his. So, I was watching one of Darren's streams a little while ago, and I saw that he had these bouncing kilometre and half-kilometre markers coming towards him. I thought, I've never seen those before. Where'd you get those from? And so I did some investigating and saw the little button that you press to give the kilometre markers. And so I've nicked his idea. If it's not that, then I don't know. But yeah, all kudos to Darren for those markers points. I quite like them. Keith, thank you very much, buddy. $800 meters of climbing left. Actually, no, a kilometre of climbing left. We have to do 4.2, don't we? To get the 500 meters. Brian, buddy, thank you very much.
Ride on!
Oh, okay, go on then, Darren. It's more of a general Zwift complaint. Heart rate still fairly comfortable, 150 BPM. Right in zone 3. Legs are starting to ache a little bit. Ankle is okay. I mean, I can feel a dull ache. It's not painful at all. I can just feel that my right ankle is different to my left ankle. But it's not causing me any running problems. Yes, Darren. So they are overhauling the schedule a bit. We had this in a meeting last night. Long run Sunday is supposed to be long run day. So they are, in general, they are leaving Sundays open for people to do their long runs. But the one exception to that is races. So the ZRS, the Zwift Race Series, will usually be on a Sunday. Every other day of the week, there is a significant event. So Monday is Monday Run Club, all throughout the day. Tuesday, Turn It Up Tuesday, all throughout the day. Wednesday, workout. Thursday is kind of slightly open, but we have the New Balance runs. Friday, they are going to create a new event for Fridays. and Saturday's run in the park. Sunday is your long run day, your open day, free day, or Zwift Race Series day. Steenrod, thanks for the ride on.
Ride on!
Okay, 400 metres to go before we hit 4K. 600 metres to go before I reduce the incline back down to 0. And then I shall just chug it out to 5K. And then I am doing Wednesday workout early today. Could be fartlek Friday, could also be fast Fridays. Not sure of the title yet. But I know Ryan's doing fartlek Friday. Anyway. Oh. Lost my train of thought then. Never mind. Oh yes. Wednesday workout early tonight, 4:30 UK time for me. I'm going to go and watch the children doing their swimming. Yeah, well that's run in the park for you, isn't it? Or park run. Saturday morning is hurt locker time. Bang out the fastest 5K you can. I get out of it a lot of the time because I'm with my kids, so I run with them. Last week was my second slowest ever park run. Good grief, Jonathan. I mean, I know they let you be in charge of an aircraft carrying 200 odd people, but I never thought they'd let you be in charge of a run. Do they know what they're letting themselves in for? 400 metres to go. They have requested more people to help out writing workouts. So if anyone's good at writing ZWO workout files, if you've got a good idea for a session, you could send it over to them. Jinxie, thank you very much, buddy.
Right on! I'm toast.
Yeah, ready for this to finish now. Here we go, 4 kilometers done. So just 200 more meters of climbing. Let's push it up to 7.5 just for the last 200 meters. Jay Crawford, thank you for your ride on.
Right on!
It's annoying that this is a minus 2% decline. Okay, Darren, I will bring your name up at the meetings. So just touching zone 4 there, look. But nearly done now. 50 metres left. And hopefully this will give me 500 metres climb. There we are, back down to 0. Right, so let's just do another 700 metres of running. Take it to 5 kilometres. Oh gosh, that feels like running downhill. Oh, Marlus! Thank you, buddy.
Right on.
I don't know if any of you know Marlus. Marlus from Brazil. Haven't heard from him for ages. Three and a half minutes of running. That'll get us to 5 kilometres. Simpson, thank you.
Right on.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Zwift Live YouTube channel. Please, if you haven't already. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers so I can start earning some money from advertising. You're not allowed to, Zwift doesn't allow, YouTube doesn't allow you to earn any money from advertising if you have fewer than 1,000 subscribers. It's all right on my Film My Run channel, but not yet at 1,000 subscribers on the Zwift Live channel. Not too far off though. What, I'm about 800 something. Yeah, it definitely feels like running downhill. And look, oh, now I'm going to go up an 8% incline on Zwift. How ridiculous. Only 2 minutes left. Well, Jonathan, just go to the YouTube channel and there should be a red subscribe button. If it's not red, if it's greyed out, then you have already subscribed. Okay, 725 subscribers. So yeah, need a good 275 more people to find live Zwift virtual running interesting enough to subscribe. Mind you, judging by the numbers of people who are signing up, to the Tour de Zwift. I mean, that is good numbers, isn't it? Good numbers. So there we are, there's the purple end of the run, 5 kilometres done, 500 metres of climb. Heart rate is now back down into zone 2, nice and easy. And there we are. Thanks, Jonathan. Right, there we are. So back tonight at what time am I back? 4:30, isn't it? So look out for the intro film around 4:15 this afternoon if you're interested. Jonathan's advice is to not do Group A. So yeah, I mean, I might have a look at that anyway and might do Group B. I am putting in a few miles now, so it's best not to do all of those miles flat out. It's good to do effort, it's good to take yourself out of your comfort zone, but we'll have plenty of that, so I'll have a look. Maybe I just need to do a little bit less intensive stuff to just give my ankle a bit of time to maybe ease up a bit. I mean, you know, the sensible option is just to not run for a few days, isn't it? And try and get the ankle back to normal. But I'm a runner. I'm an ultra runner. And we're pig-headed and stupid. So I will carry on running until my leg tells me that I'm going to have to pull out of my next race. Oh, dear. Oh, Ryan, that's gutting. So you finished 4th out of 27. Well, I should just be embarrassed, to be honest. Kapka, thanks for the ride on.
Ride on!
Right, okay, that's it. I'm going to have a shower and I'll see you all tonight. Take care, thanks for watching, thanks for the banter as usual, much appreciated. See you later, bye.